Let's be honest, our social world can feel, well, pretty chaotic, right? A total mess of connections and cross signals. But what if I told you that underneath all of that, there's a hidden physics to it all, a set of rules? Today, we're gonna map it out. You know the feeling. Sometimes you just click with someone. The conversation flows, it's easy. And other times, it's like pulling teeth. So what is going on there? What are the invisible forces that shape every single meeting, every party, every first date we ever have? Well, here's the thing. It's not just random chaos. We can actually take that tangled web of interactions and see it for what it is. A system. A system with a clear set of principles that are always at play, whether we notice them or not. And at the heart of this system, there are three fundamental elements. They're mostly unspoken, but they are constantly shaping our reality. Okay, so let's break it down. We're talking about three core things here. First, there's space. Yep, the literal distance between us. Then you've got time, which is all about the pacing of our interactions. And finally, the signals our bodies are constantly sending out. Think of these as the building blocks of our entire social universe. So let's jump right in with our first element, space. It is absolutely wild how much the physical distance between people can say. Honestly, it's often way more than our words ever could. There's actually a technical term for this. It's called proxemics, and it's basically the science of our personal space bubbles. Those invisible zones we all carry around with us that kind of dictate our comfort, intimacy, and even power dynamics. You know that feeling when a stranger stands just a little too close on the bus? Yeah, that's proxemics kicking in. We all instinctively operate inside these zones, which were actually mapped out by an anthropologist named Edward T. Hall. You can picture them like invisible rings around you. That outer ring, that's your social zone, perfect for acquaintances. But if someone crosses into that closer, personal zone without an invitation, whoa, that changes the entire dynamic. It's either a move towards connection or a signal of aggression. All right, next up is time. This is a big one. It's an element that can signal priority, power, and connection, all without you ever having to say a single word. The science here is called chronemics, and it dives into how the timing of our actions sends these incredibly powerful, unspoken messages. I mean, just think about a business meeting. Who has to wait for whom to show up? That right there is a power dynamic, and it's communicated purely through the use of time. And this slide, this is a reality we all live every single day. You send a text, you get that lightning fast reply back. How does that feel? It makes you feel important, right? Like a priority. But what about a reply that takes hours or even days? That sends a completely different message, doesn't it? It's all about value and status. It's a silent negotiation happening in our pockets constantly. This brings us perfectly to our final element, the physical signals our bodies send out, often whether we want them to or not. These are the tells, the little clues that reveal what we're really thinking and feeling. The science behind all this is called kinesics, and it covers everything, from your posture and your hand gestures to those nearly invisible facial expressions that can totally betray your true feelings, even when your words are trying to hide them. A psychologist named Paul Ekman was the pioneer in studying these things called microexpressions. And what he found was incredible. They often just leak out when people are trying to conceal how they really feel. It gives us this momentary, totally unfiltered peek into their genuine emotional state. So, listen, this is the key takeaway. If you can learn to spot these little signals, you can start to decode the hidden emotional layer in any conversation. Just look at this table. See that unilateral lip raise? That's not just a smirk. That is the universal sign for contempt. It's basically saying, I think I'm better than you. Or a wrinkled nose when you present a new idea? That's disgust, not just disagreement. This is the real conversation happening just beneath the surface. Okay, so let's see how these three elements, space, time, and signals, all come together in the real world, in these little social laboratories that we find ourselves in every day. Now, some systems, like those developed by so-called pickup artists, try to consciously manipulate these signals. They use very specific timing, spatial positioning, and body language to try and increase their probability of success in dating. But as many women will tell you, it often comes across as really inauthentic, and it just fails to create a genuine connection. Now, on the flip side, we can use these exact same elements to create distance. And as you can see from this chart, pretty much nothing works better than putting on headphones. It is the near universal do not disturb sign. It's incredibly effective. Looking busy on your phone is a close second. These are really powerful, intentional signals that say, I am unavailable.
And the ultimate goal of using this kind of strategic distance is something security professionals call the gray man technique. The idea is to signal unavailability and just match the crowd's average behavior, so you essentially vanish from the social radar. You become strategically inconspicuous.
So it's one thing to observe these forces in other people, but the final and honestly most powerful step is learning how to manage them within ourselves. This is where a really powerful tool called psychological distancing comes in. It's this ability to shift from being stuck inside your feelings, just stewing on them, to reflecting on them constructively, almost like you're an outside observer watching a movie. And you want to know the simplest way to do it? Just ask yourself this one powerful question. It's an incredible mental hack. It instantly shifts your perspective and helps you prioritize what's actually important over your immediate raw emotions. Here's a simple 3-step guide to actually put this into practice. First, just change your language. Instead of asking, what should I do? Ask, what should you do? Right away, that creates an observer's view. Then from there, actually writing it down solidifies it. You're basically coaching yourself with the same wisdom you'd offer a friend. You become your own best advisor. You see, by understanding this unseen physics of our social lives, you gain a whole new level of awareness. You stop being just a character who is reacting to the story, and you actually become its author. So the real question is, now that you know the rules, what story are you going to choose to write?